Hi, hello, I'm Sugar. This is a normal and heroic boss guide for the 9 and Sanctum of Domination. This is a 2-phase encounter with 3 main bosses and 6 fallen Valkyrie that lend abilities to the fight. The raid should position themselves in the middle of the room to make it easier to soak and dodge all the mechanics. Hero can be used when Skyja enters the fight to help finish off Kira and Signy. Burn these 2 bosses as evenly as possible to lessen the time all 3 bosses are up. Phase 1 starts with Kira and Signy on the ground and Skyja flying above. Tanks will need to taunt swap Kira after 3 stacks of Unending Strike to reduce the damage they take and that is done to the raid. Kira will also spawn a Formless Mass that needs to be tanked and its Siphon Vitality cast interrupted. Establish an interrupt order for Signy's Song of Dissolution. This does raid-wide damage and applies a stacking dot. If any interrupts are left over, use them on Signy's Soulful Blast. Anyone hit by this will need spot healing. When Kira and Signy reach 100 energy, they each have special abilities. Kira will pull players towards her with Wings of Rage. The raid needs to run away from her and be outside the AoE circle. Anyone within it will be stunned for 10 seconds and take a lethal burst of damage. Signy will push players away from her with Reverberating Refrain. The raid needs to run towards her and be within her protective bubble to avoid being feared and taking lethal damage. From above, Skyja will be using Call of the Valkyr at 100 energy to trigger mechanics from the other Valkyrs around the room. These will come in patterns of 3, and these same mechanics will be seen in Phase 2 when Skyja is on the ground. Eternal Blade will rush across the encounter space, creating long black lines. These need to be dodged. Mighty Anvil will target players with a 20-yard circle. This should be run out of the raid. Bright Aegis will summon a protective bubble on top of the bosses. They should be dragged out of this immediately. Falling Strike creates 4 zones around the room that need to be soaked. Wait until the circle disappears completely before moving out. Mournful Dirge will turn players into a bomb that detonates after 6 seconds, doing damage to anyone in 5 yards. Move out of the raid group with this. Crushing Gaze calls a meteor down upon a player. The raid should stack up to split the damage. Phase 2 starts when either Kira or Signy reaches 15% on Heroic or 10% on Normal. Skyja will continue to use Call of the Valkyr in this phase. However, on Heroic, Word of Recall is added, recalling the last 3 Call of the Valkyr mechanics at the same time. Also on Heroic, Link Essence will be placed on several players, radiating 60% of the damage they take to all other linked players. It's best to avoid taking damage at this time from soaking mechanics. Fragments of Destiny will be placed on 3 players. They should run out together to the side of the room to be dispelled one at a time. Once all fragments are on 1 player and dispelled, a Shard of Destiny will spawn, leaving a pool of frost on the ground. Skyja will hit the tanks with Pierce Soul, a stacking debuff that should be swapped on 2 stacks. The healers will be busy with Resentment in this phase, which is a 6-second long cast that deals raid-wide damage every second. I recommend rotating healing CDs here. Okay, so that covers all the mechanics you'll see for this boss. Here is a TLDR of the positioning and mechanics from my raid plan. I'll include links to these in the description below. Alright, that's all for now. See you in the next boss guide. Okay, bye!